Welcome to Can You Beat Oblivion Remastered with only summons. I chose a Breton, named her Pinky Fresh, and started it out. I then got yelled out by a dark elf until the Emperor himself came by and wanted to go inside my cell. I was a little worried since he was an old man and I was a woman, but it turns out he was pretty chill. After that, I then watched him battle some people, and since I can't really summon anything yet, I'm forced to run away from rats and zombies until I meet back up with the Emperor, as I simply stand around as they deal with assassins, as then I'm able to choose my birth sign. Obviously, I went with the mage because, well, that's most fitting. I then watched the Emperor get murdered by an assassin. Don't worry, I couldn't help even if I could fight back, because that's supposed to happen anyway. Then I was looking for people, and I finally just decided to choose whatever, as now I can summon skeletons to actually fight for me, and they're pretty lackluster. I went against a wolf, one of the weakest opponents in the game, and the skeleton didn't do too well. Never mind that, though. Now it's time to go off and check out these Oblivion portals, because these Oblivion portals have been spawning everywhere, and every time they spawn, Daedra come in. As I go into a city full of Daedra, they absolutely whoop me, so I need to get stronger summons. But to do that, I need more money, and to make money, I go out and combine tomatoes and berries to make some healing potions so I can sell them. Because right now, the Daedra absolutely destroy me, so I need as much money as I can possibly get. So I start selling some potions, then I found a nice glitch. Even the newer ones, there's still glitches. Not gonna lie, I absolutely love the glitches in Bethesda games. They just feel like Bethesda, you know what I mean? After that, I leveled up. I won't show every time I level up, but I just wanted to show it once to let you know I am putting skills into magic. After that, I spam summon to get more powerful summon spells. As I mastered my conjuration, I was able to summon some good spells. So I went back and summoned a flame atronach to fight for me. As then I talked to the guards. I was trying to look for the heir to the throne. But before that, I had to save the city from the gates of Oblivion. So I went into literal hell and had a flame atronach fight for me to save some soldiers stuck in the gate. As I rescued a few of them, I ran in and continued through the quest. These hell towers get boring after a while. They're very repetitive and all over the game. But when you first enter them, it's really fun and new. And I've never seen anything like it. So I did really enjoy this. I did have to run around and summon things, though, obviously. I'm kind of like a glass cannon right now. I would get better armor later on, but for now, this is what I was like. And yeah, eventually, though, I was able to destroy the tower, go back out of the gate, and save the town. Hip, 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 hooray. I did a good job. Yes, I did today. After that, we went back in town and wipe out the Daedra that's left in the city, as this guy talks to me while he's on fire, and the next guy makes a face like he's having too much fun. As then we go through the town and continue to slaughter the Daedra. I am forced to run away a lot because these soldiers get absolutely destroyed, so I have to run on railings or anything I can find to help me not actually die, as my flame atronach takes a long time, but eventually it does do the work. By the way, if you're wondering why it's so hard to do things, it's because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. As then we continue forward and meet up with the new king, and then I go out and go back and spam conjuration so I can level up my conjuration spells as I get expert. So now instead of using a flame atronach, I could summon a spider. You think a woman that shoots fire out of her hands made of literal flame would be better than just a big spider, but apparently not, and well, I guess I just won't question it. As then I have to go into a town and fight assassins. By fight, I mean run around and hide, while my spider does all the work for me. As I'm almost dead, eventually I'm able to clear them out and meet up with a priest that I'm supposed to protect. As we talk, he leads me out of the town. As then, we then go into the Blade's temple to bring the king to safety. As the new king talks to me, he says he's nervous about being a king and has some more missions for me to do. As I go back in, I speak to some of the Blades, as they give me a mission, get an ancient book. But to do that, I have to fight some assassins, so the spider does its job pretty well, and I get the book I was looking for. After that, I go out and start to spam summons once again to level up my conjuration, so I can get master conjuration, so I can summon a demon lord. Now there are other summons of master spells, but the demon lord's my favorite, so I decided just to go with that one. So yeah, After that, I continue with the quest line as I start to talk to people to learn more about these book that I've heard about. As then, after talking to them, I am sent to go to a cult meeting where these people worship Daedra. But to get to the cult, I have to go through sewers. Why are the sewers surrounded by enemies? That's probably very unsanitary. I mean, they do need people to do maintenance in the sewers. I don't really know, but it is what it is. As then I go to the cult meeting in the sewers and let my conjuration Daedra Lord do the most of the work. As then I found a magical book on the cultists, and I finally went out to get it analyzed. As we were analyzing this book, however, I had to, go at noon and learn the location of the cult meeting. As finally we can go to the meeting I was talking about earlier. As they talk to me, I pretend to be a cultist and give them all my stuff, which I could not get back. I think maybe you have to kill them and get it back, I don't know, but yeah. I touch a book and they all get mad because apparently the god of Daedra knows that I'm not with him. So I just have to sprint out of there because watching my summon deal with 50 of them is a bit much, even for a Daedra Lord. So I have to run through the cave and die a lot. But eventually I do manage to get out. As I get out, I tell the new emperor about everything I saw and about the book. As I bring them the Book of Evil, they begin to talk to me. As then I go out and take care of a spy who was spying on the Blades. As I took care of the spy, I then went back to talk about what I found on the spy's corpse. As we continue to talk, eventually I go to their base. As I learn more about their things as I trespass on them. As I trespass, I learned about a portal that can only be opened with a cursed item. So I go out to find the skeleton key because that's the best cursed item there is. I recommend doing another one because this could open any locked door. But since I'm doing conjuration, don't need weapons or armor, I decided it won't be a big deal. But if I was doing any other run, I would 100% use a different item. After returning the skeleton key, I then go to the Oblivion Gates with an army to help defend the city. As then, I tell the general to follow me, and we all charge in and fight some Daedra. I did this once by myself, basically, so with an army and a summon, yeah, this is not that difficult. I mean, there's a little bit more enemies than normal, but overall, I got it under control. And I can use my summon and the general as a meat shield at the same time, so I don't take any damage. It's very nice. As then, we'd managed to destroy the tower and save the town. Nice, nice, nice. After that, I end up running into a half-naked guy. I don't know why, but the men hate wearing shirts in this game. There's so many shirtless men. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just very interesting. I did not know that was in Oblivion. As then I meet with the barons, because we have to unite the barons to help defend the capital city against Daedra. So I have to go into these Daedra towers and wipe them out with these guards. A lot of times I'm alone, but this time I actually had guards help me out, getting in at least. I won't show you every single demon tower mission. Yes, I call them that because they're repetitive as hell. See what I did there? Or repetitive as Oblivion, I should say. I'm just going to say what I did. So I went to each baron, asked for help. They couldn't help me unless the gate was closed. So then I went into a gate and destroyed the tower. Now it's pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm just going to skim over it. And if you don't like it, well then why? Why would you want me to repeat something repetitive, first off? And second off, it's my channel, I can do what I want. So I'll just run in, destroy the tower, then leave, and get the Baron's help. And I would do this again and again and again. Yeah, this is probably my least favorite part of the game, just destroying a tower. It was fun the first time, but when you do it like 50 times, it kind of ruins the luster. But what do you guys think? Do you like these missions, or do you think they just get tedious after a while? I think this is why most people have a problem with the main story. The main story is good, but it gets really tedious with helping the barons. At least for me. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, or maybe you like this, or what. But yeah, it's basically going, asking to help them, and then you go and help them, and then they join you. Kind of annoying. But anyway, after going to Baron, to Baron, to Baron, to Baron, to Baron, to Tower, to Tower, to Tower, to Tower, eventually, it just kind of lost its fun. Like, at this point, I wasn't really having much fun anymore. I was just running around doing the same thing over and over. I mean, it got more fun later on, but this part really annoyed me and really ruined my experience for the game. Also, If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, I mean, Oblivion is a cool game, but that part's just really annoying. After doing all that, I could finally go to the Emperor and tell him that we have enough help to help us defend the city, which, you know, it's very nice. After not wanting to go to those gates ever again, I then meet with the temple guard, and we get the Blood of the Vines, as we have to find a cursed armor that was guarded by Ghost. So I went out and decided to level up my restoration magic, because I was getting absolutely destroyed, because this dwarven armor was not that good. Instead of just getting better armor like a normal person, for some reason I decided to level up my restoration a lot more. Why? I don't know. I mean, it worked, but I probably just should have just got better armor, thinking back on it, but oh well. As then I run away from the ghost because this was very annoying. As then I meet a lost soul who offered to help me, as I just need to take down all the skeleton men to get all the keys to do it. As then I take them all out so I get everything I need so we can continue on through the dungeon. As this dungeon was, well, pretty difficult. The most difficult thing about it, though, was crashing, because this game crashed over and over again in this dungeon, and only in this dungeon, so I don't know why. But eventually I got the cursed armor, I brought it back to the Emperor, and he was able to use it. Now, we're getting these cursed items so we can use a portal, so we can go back to Oblivion, yay! As then I meet the toughest zombie I've ever faced, where I had to summon my Daedra Lord like 3 times. As I go throughout this new tunnel, eventually I get what I need. But later I do get stuck with a lot of powerful men trying to kill me. But for the power of me just jumping and running around, my Daedra Lord was eventually able to win. By the way, I used him throughout the rest of the run, so he is the VP, so shout out to the Daedra Lord. After that, I then continued on forward and met with the Emperor, as he was crowned in a ceremony. After that, it was finally time for me to go and attack the Oblivion Gate. This time there was far more enemies, but I had an army here to help me, so it definitely equaled it out. Not gonna lie, at this point I dreaded going to Oblivion because it was just really annoying. But after all that, I was able to go into Paradise and meet an actual kind of nice Daedra. All he wanted me to do was let out his friend to murder some innocent people, and he'll let me in. So I decided to do that, as I moved the rock and let in this half-naked guy, because Oblivion loves half-naked men, apparently. Is this game, like, homoerotic, or am I missing it? Because there's a lot of half-naked men that are buff, so they definitely had a thing going on. Anyway, guards into thinking I was supposed to be here and to be tortured for all eternity, because one of the cultists actually changed his mind and is good now and helped me out. After that, I'm supposed to run away from the cave from enemies, because this was hard. I died a lot, because my main strategy is just to run away and summon things, but it's hard to run away when you're in a close cave. But eventually, though, I meet up with a good cultist. My gut went away, allowing me to move freely. I tried to open this door for 5 times, thinking I had to go through it. And, yeah. Eventually, we continue onwards, and I get out of the cave. As then I meet with some cultists, as they bring me to the guy who made the paradise. And I died here a lot, but sadly, I kind of forgot to record it. So basically, I just ran around and spammed summon until he died. I didn't even get to see him dying. And I was so pissed off. Usually, I'd reload to try to show you guys the kill. I didn't even do that, because I was just ready to throw my controller against the wall at that point. I am not going to lie. Eventually, though, I make it back to the Emperor, as he goes into the capital to show everyone his plan. But that's interrupted as the Daedra come and attack us. As I am able to summon my Daedra Lord and sit on this massive table, I have never seen a table this big, for safety. As then I run around as the capital is on fire and being attacked. This is probably my favorite part of the main story, is the final quest. Because look at that. It's just so stunning. As then I bring the Emperor in, as he decides to sacrifice himself and fuse with his ancestors to create a literal dragon of magic to fight a god. Like, this is just amazing. I just love this visual. This is probably, I like this better than when I defeat Aldrin in Skyrim. It's just such a fun visual to look at. And I prove, yes you can, beat Oblivion Remastered with only summons. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. And what challenges do you want me to do next? Let me know in the comments below. And I would give this game a 7 out of 10. Good, but not great.